Yeah, it's going to take some time to kind of rebuild the offensive culture and identity, but hopefully we get Ben Arbuckle for a few years and that he's able to do that. Whose stock is up as Oklahoma's 5 games into the season, 6 weeks into 2025? We'll discuss coming up next here on Locked On Sooners.
You are Locked On Sooners, your daily podcast on the Oklahoma Sooners. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Once again, thanks for making Locked On Sooners your first listen every single day. Shout out to all the everydayers out there. Tune in and subscribe to the show wherever you get your podcasts. We're part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Jay, Oklahoma's 5-0. We're 6 weeks into the 2025 college football season. What do you make of this team? Whose stock has risen the most since the start of the season?
Oh, it's definitely David Stone's, man.
Yeah.
Like we talked about him last segment, kind of calling this group the Dog Pound. I feel like he has 100% given us the 5-star treatment that we have been hoping for and praying for out of him coming in. I remember, what was that, in the spring when he entered the transfer portal, and we went live that night to talk about it. And then the next day he left the transfer portal and came back, and we did a live on that one as well. And the biggest stressor for us was that he may contribute this year, he may not, but the following year, 26, he's definitely probably going to be that dude. He's already became that guy. He has shown so much growth. And like I said, I mentioned this in the other segment, John, that the thing that jumps out to me the most is how he sacrifices himself. He's so selfless when it comes to his rushes, to where not only does he rush and put a wall on one side of the ball, he doesn't stop his pursuit. And if you've ever heard me, any of the uninitiated here, if you've ever listened to me talk about recruits, whenever we have a commitment, and I talk about defensive players, even before I started here on Locked On with you, John, that was the one thing I pointed out when I noticed some of the recruits they were going after. The endless pursuit, regardless of if the play was their direction or not. That R. Mason Thomas play against Auburn when he chased down Jeremiah Cobb, that still sticks in my brain often, because that is the relentless pursuit that Brent Venables had, and this staff, Bates, Chavis, Hall, all of them chase when they go after recruits, are guys that, regardless of size, you're going to keep chasing after the play and keep going, and we're going to reward you by leaving you on the field, or we'll pull you out, give you a couple breaths to go back in. But these dudes don't stop. So to me, Stoney has shown me that, yep, you can be trusted in here any time of the game. Of course, G-Baby, he's shown us he can be trusted. He's rated as a top 120 guy for the NFL draft. Jaden Jackson as well, but I think Stone is the one that jumped up the most. But there's one other player, though, that I can also say, too, but I'm going to let you go first.
Well, let me just talk about David Stone for a second, because, I mean, the numbers are off the charts. So there are 17 guys that have at least 100 snaps on this defense in 2025. He's the highest graded player among those 17 players. David Stone is. He's third on the team in total pressures, according to Pro Football Focus. He is number 1 in their stop metric. Now, their stop metric uses the analytics based on success rate, where you make a tackle matters. He's number 1. He's number 1 currently among interior defensive linemen. Now, Jaden Jackson, Dominic Williams, they sat out against Kent State. Didn't need to play him, so he got a lot more snaps there. But he's arrived. David Stone is here. You know, he's playing as much as Marvin Jones Jr., who's got 148 snaps. David Stone's got 137. Taylor Wine at 132. So, like, he is playing starter level snaps. And, you know, we might have been kind of sleeping on the developmental piece, but he made a big jump this offseason and he's obviously earned his playing time, and he's doing the most with his playing time so far. Who was the other guy that you kind of thought of, Jay, that you were thinking of talking about?
Brent Venables talked about him. Peyton Bowen.
Okay.
Kid's been everywhere this season, and you can see the leadership in him. I put it this way. The one thing that we were hoping for out of him is similar to what we got out of Billy Bowman in his era here, is being a ball hawk and being all over the place. Peyton has shown us that as well. He's done a really good job of just being in spaces that you're like, oh, okay, you know where the ball is. Coverage great. He's doing fine. He got 200 snaps on the season. But he does a really good job of just being in the right spots to cause problems. And you can tell he's a leader. He's a vocal leader. He is the one that you see in the secondary, which I thought was going to be Robert Spears-Jennings this year. Surprisingly, it's not. Peyton's the one directing people where to go. He's helping point people to where they need to be. He's helping push people up and down or whatnot. He's taken ownership of that, and BV talked about it. We're getting that experience that we thought we were going to get out of Peyton Bowen. And I expect him most likely, depending on how the season ends, I still expect him to come back for one more year. But then you'll have him with Boganowski, with Reggie Powers, and you'll see some more Jaden Hardy out there as well. You'll have that trio of safeties that we're really excited about next season with him still leaning around. And man, it's going to be fun because then you'll still have two more dudes right behind them that are younger that you're excited about in Omarion, Robinson, Man, as well as Wimberly. But hey man, Peyton Bowen has given us a lot of things to be excited about and excitement about him being on this team still. So him and his little brother, it's going to be fun.
Yeah, the name that comes up to me is Jaren Kanak. I remember when he was first listed as the tight end one atop the depth chart, we kind of all just thought maybe they were just throwing him a bone because he busted his tail so much over the offseason to transition to tight end. I didn't necessarily think it was going to stick. And through 5 games, he's been awesome. He's number 2 on the team in receiving. Is the blocking something that has to continue to get better? Yeah, it does. But this is the first year that he's ever been asked to block, probably in his entire life, because he was a high school Wildcat quarterback. So he's probably not blocking a whole lot then. And with his speed and athleticism, I highly doubt that even in Pee Wee football, they were asking him to play along the offensive line. So this is all very new to the kid, but he's playing really good football and he's become an X factor for this team.
Yeah, it's crazy you said that. He's second, they say second in yards at 325, which that he has surpassed Bauer Sharp's statistics last year. Now in yards, he already passed him up. He's second in the team in YAC too, in yards after catch at 166, John. So
more than half of his yards have come after the catch.
After the catch,
yeah.
We knew that he was fast, and I told people numerous. I've actually had a couple buddies that I've argued with. They're like, "Hey man, I don't believe those track numbers." No, he was a 10-3 guy in high school in Kansas.
You have to believe track numbers.
Yes.
Those are official times. Those are not like some guy in his warehouse somewhere with his own stopwatch. No, those are like official track times from competition.
Yeah, but I get why they say it, and it's only because he's put on like 20 or 30 pounds since he ran those numbers. So I get them while at the same time. You're right. Those are official times. He's still got some of that speed. It's still there. And so, but yeah, no, Jaren Kanak is definitely a great one, along with Isaiah Satania, man. We've been pretty lucky and blessed in the way that players moving around, some of the transfers that have come in, and how they've bought in on the culture. Like you said, we're still building up that offensive culture, especially with Ben Arbuckle being the new head coach. But at some point, that's going to click well enough to go perfectly with the offense. The key thing is always at quarterback, but that clicking with the defense, in which defense next year should be just as good. Oh man, 26 should be a fun year for us.
So in addition to whose stock is up as we get ready for OU Texas, who has to have a big game and maybe who's going to be a surprise performer in this one? We'll discuss coming up next here on Locked On Sooners.